Hello everyone, this is Javamonk, and welcome to episode 73 of my survival series. So, last episode we did a catch-up of the holidays because I missed Halloween and Christmas. So now we have Halloween decorations, we have some Christmas decorations, and we even celebrated Thanksgiving at the castle, the Trim Castle. So this episode, we're going to do a small project that's going to be very redstone heavy. And it's all to prepare for situations where I would just suddenly die. I need a quick way to get items, just enough where I can just basically spring back into action, get my items back if need be, or if somehow I died in lava, be able to survive until I get better armor and better weapons. Basically get my inventory back. So we need a system to prepare for that kind of situation. And I think we need to do this kind of thing in style. So first off, and this is where the redstone heavy part comes in, because we're going to involve slime blocks, dispensers, droppers, nether portals, and all kinds of other things. I think this is going to turn out pretty awesome. Okay, so I've been scouting around the mansion, and I think a good place to put in... That's weird. What happened to the zombie here? Can still hear him groaning. But anyways, I think the best place to have an item respawning or item giving back system would be over on this side of the mansion. The reason for this is because right over here, I think in this room actually, I'm intending to put in a bedroom. That'll be a little while later. That'll be later on in the series though. We're not putting the bedroom just yet. But we can put in item respawning or item giving system right here. So let's see. Let's say the drop chute here just drops down straight through here. So I want a nice deep drop chute that basically is really, really deep and drops the player into this weird little holding cell. It is very dark. So this holding cell is intended to be the... weird. Well, anyway, this holding cell is going to be where the player just drops down, and then they can have different buttons selected. Like maybe I died in the nether and my items are accessible, so I can click a button and I go to the nether. We'll see how that turns out. Okay, I now have a little room over here that's deep underground. Very, very deep actually. So obviously this fall from the surface, and especially from the second floor of the mansion down to here, this fall is not survivable. Especially not with 0 armor. Because that's the assumption here, is that I just died, all of my items are scattered off somewhere, and I'm gonna try to retrieve those items, but obviously I don't have armor when I'm dead. So to survive this fall, I'm gonna need something like a slime block. But in order for the bounce not to be too annoying, I also need a system to stop me from bouncing up too high. So I think a piston up here would be a good idea. So let's see. And there we go. So now what we need to do is we need to put a pressure plate on the slime block, which interestingly enough doesn't prevent the slime block from bouncing you. So that's pretty cool. And then we just gotta hook up a redstone signal to connect up to this piston. This is gonna end up probably being a little bit more complicated than it sounds. Although, I don't see why. I could just use a bunch of stone slabs. In fact, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, so now we have a system where if I land on the slime block, that piston will extend out and hopefully prevent me from flying upwards. So now I'm going to find a way to get back up there and test it out to make sure I don't bounce up too high. I also want to ensure that this fall is actually survivable, but I'm not going to take off my armor. So if I take no damage, then this would have succeeded. Whoa. Yeah, that definitely did not work. I don't want to bounce up all that high. So maybe if I extend that piston up a little bit higher. Okay, so I tweaked it a little bit. First off, I put in a sticky piston to extend out a stone block so it's not just a piston. And this way I don't even accidentally phase through the piston arm or anything weird like that. And second, I moved that piston up a block. So let's see if this works. Oh yeah. Okay. That's pretty awesome. Righty, so now that we have a system to prevent me from bouncing upwards obscenely high after landing on the slam block to negate the fall, now I think I'm going to need another system to basically bounce me over to a control panel where, so over here, I can have a couple dispensers that dispense armor, and then a control panel that have a bunch of buttons on there. This will have things like give me a sword, give me a bow, give me a crossbow, give me a trident, things like that. And that way I can tailor what items I get based on where I died and how difficult it would be to get the items. Okay, I think I have the whole bouncing sequence already all completed as much as I think I need. So here's the order in which it happens. So I'm going to slow down the footage here. Okay, so all of that, what happens is, as soon as I jump down here, so let me show you the order in which things happen. Let's just remove this block and this block. There we go. So as soon as I step on this pressure plate, I instantly start bouncing up, and this block up here, this stone block, whoops, is intended to stop me from bouncing all the way to the stratosphere. Followed immediately by this piston here, which prevents the bounce from going up even up to that block there. So after the first bounce, that block makes me basically crash my head into that block there, at which point as I bounce down, I'm going to end up bouncing up again. So to prevent me from bouncing up again, this piston comes out and stops me there. And then a little while later, this piston comes forward and basically shoves me off of that pressure plate and into this room, which is going to be the control room. So now I can cover up all the extra bits of stone and air blocks that are really not necessary to show, just like this. And this way I can't accidentally miss and go flying off in some random direction. Okay. I think I should probably get my shulker boxes and ender chest before I cover all of that up. There we go. Okay, so this slime block up here is, after it stops me from jumping, that slime block will then throw me over to this spot right here, and I'll end up skidding to a halt right over here. So now we need a control panel and also some dispensers for armor. So let's put those dispensers in now. There are 4 pieces of armor here, and I think the chest plate, depending on what I choose, I should be able to choose whether or not I should get an elytra or a chest plate. Because chest plates are kind of pointless because chest plates and elytra take up the same amount of space, and yeah, so we have 3 areas right here, and I'm pretty much guaranteed. It's pretty much guaranteed that I'm going to need some sort of weapon, but that can be just dispensed to me with a dispenser. So let's see. I'm definitely going to need a pickaxe. 100% absolute must-have, no matter what happens. So let's see. Here's some redstone. So this redstone right there this redstone blob is just going to power all 4 dispensers all at once. Let's actually make sure that happens. I'm going to put some terracotta into all 4 of these dispensers. Make sure this actually happens. And there we go. I can drop the rest off in here, just for now. And I'll just grab a redstone block and pop. Okay. So there's a 4 glazed terracotta. So I know this works. Now the armor is going to be automatically dispensed onto these armor slots because that's how dispensers work. So that's pretty cool. And the sword, or pickaxe, is not going to be, is just going to go into the first slot of my inventory, since my inventory would be empty. So now I'm going to need some buttons to control where I go next and what other items I get. So for example, if I choose the fact that I died in the Nether, then I'm going to want a fire resistance potion splashed on me and be sent immediately to another portal. If for example I died underground, I'm going to need a pickaxe and probably not going to need an elytra. I'm also going to want a minecart. If I say I died underwater, I'm probably going to want an elytra, but I'm also going to get something like a Riptide 3 trident, as well as this trident. Oh, and speaking of which, the trident farm has been amazing. Let me real quick show you the drops from the trident farm, because tridents are no longer a super rare, super valuable resource. So here I am at the drowned farm. There's the mansion, and here is the super giant drowned farm. This ceiling here is intended to be so I can be phantom proofed, but it also makes it kind of a pain to land here with the elytra. But anyways, you can kind of hear the drowned already coming. And check out all these tridents. We also got plenty of gold ingots and nautilus shells and rotten flesh. This thing's amazing. And you can actually hear there's multiple drowns currently making their way to this killing chamber here. Yep, in fact there's a couple stuck in the corner here, which will soon be pushed out. But yeah, this drowned farm is amazing, and tridents are no longer a super rare resource. What is still, though, are mending books, because I'm yet to get a villager with a mending enchantment. But hopefully I soon will, because that'll be a good, renewable, reliable resource of mending. Radio. Time to get back to this chamber here, and I think I'm in the wrong side. Yeah, I'm on the wrong side of the mansion. This thing is so much fun to use. So, boing, boing, and shove right into the dispensers. Right, so I think what would be cool is having a... Well, maybe I don't need 4 dispensers. So, maybe 3 dispensers, and all 3 are going to be the helmet, the leggings, and the boots. So I can't think of any case where I'm actually going to need anything special on the boots, because Depth Strider is always needed, and actually I think I should tailor the armor to the 2 buttons as well, because I don't want to be equipped with Thorn's armor if I'm trying to catch mobs. So, and this would happen if maybe I dive to an Endermite in the end and I'm trying to build an Enderman farm or something like that. I don't want to be equipped with Thorn's armor. So let's see. So here I could actually use 6 dispensers. And from there I can... Yeah, and from there I can actually judge, based on that, whether I need an elytra or a chestplate. There we go. So let's see. I can have 2 buttons up here, one that says thorns, the other says no thorns. Let's just get 2 buttons. Where'd I get this rotten flesh? I need signs. And this is actually really complicated. It's a really tight circuit. Should probably expand out a little. Okay, I now have 2 buttons wired up. One that says thorns, the other that says no thorns. Now, I currently don't actually have any armor to dispense here just yet. Instead, I have 6 dispensers just ready to spit out whatever's needed. So, these 3 dispensers have granite. This is to represent the Thorns armor. And these 3 dispensers have stone slabs to represent the no Thorns armor. So let's check and make sure that I get the resources I want. So let's say I want no thorns. I should only get stone slabs. Good. Now let's put those back. Let's say I want Thorns armor. I should only get granite. And I only get granite. Perfect. This works fantastically. So once I select the armor, I then want this block right here to retract and drop me into another room where I can have a bunch of other other different controls. Hey, it looks like I found a cave. This might make things a little bit complicated. Maybe. Hopefully not too complicated. Oh, and looks like I already explored part of it. Looks like it's just an unexplored part of the abandoned mineshaft that runs right nearby the bulk storage room. In fact, I bet the bulk storage room is right nearby here, somewhere. Yeah, this cave might make things a bit complicated. I'm just gonna light up the area and continue building on the... Whoa. Hey, there's redstone there. Okay, not gonna get distracted. Let's continue on this building. Okay, the armor dispensary is now complete. So here's the full run through. Say I die and I need to get my items back. I drop down this hole and I get stopped, get thrown over here. At which point I can then choose my armor. Say I want Thorn's armor. So that would get me the helmet, leggings, and boots. And then I press this go. At which point I drop down here and ready to continue on the next stage, which is a giant control room. And this is really where it's going to have a nether portal, it's going to have some potion dispensaries, weapon and tool dispensers, and all kinds of other stuff. Okay, here's a system that I have in place. So after dropping down, after getting the basic armor, I'm then going to give the player, give myself different options. So for example, here I have the nether things, like a bow, an arrow, a pickaxe, a shield, a chestplate, a sword, and 2 fire resistance potions. And they all get activated as I walk through here. I can then just pick them up and run right into that nether portal. Now over here, I'm going to have the end, or basically supplies for the end dimension. And getting to the end dimension is actually exactly the same process as getting to the nether. The entrance to the end actually comes directly intersects with the entrance to the nether. At least in specific nether portals. So because of that, I just need different resources to actually get on top of... So, really, this nether portal will lead to the top of the nether, and this will also lead to the top of the nether, but I'm going to prepare myself with end supplies. So, for example, I'm going to need an elytra. I'm going to need... Well, actually, fireworks and ender pearls. I think are going to be dispensed before you actually go into the different branches. So, gold ore, not a big deal. In fact, there's really no point in collecting gold ore, because I have such a crazy fast gold farm actually. So, I'm thinking elytra, fireworks, and ender pearls, as well as the chest plate should be dispensed before you even go into these branches. So this sign here really has no purpose. Let's just break that sign. There we go. So over here is where I can dispense things like the elytra and chest plate. Over here, however, is where I could get things like extra fireworks. Like, because the end has so much void, I'm going to need extra fireworks in order to traverse it. I'm also going to want the damage fireworks. Now, what I'm talking about with these damage fireworks, I actually need to craft some more. These are weapon rockets right here. They have outrageous amounts of basically fireballs, firework balls, whatever those are called. And basically, it deals obscene amounts of damage. So, even in full diamond armor, it dealt me 2 hearts of health, and it explodes in a giant shower of fireworks. Can you imagine? That actually can kill me in 1 hit if I wasn't wearing armor, and if I was directly in the middle of that firework. Now, imagine that with a crossbow, enchanted with multi-shot. That would just be amazing for end cities. But anyways, damage fireworks. I'm definitely gonna need to craft some more of these weapon rockets, because these are just a lot of fun. So I'm going to dispense a couple damage fireworks, as well as maybe extra ender pearls. There we go. Plus, I'm going to need a bunch of blocks. So, although, maybe not. I'm actually not entirely sure what exactly I would need for the end. I'm probably going to want a shield, though. So let's have a shield available. And that's all I can actually think of at the moment. So I've heard of these contraptions that essentially are designed to dispense you exactly 16 ender pearls. And that is exactly the kind of contraption that I'm trying to build here. So these are basically contraptions where you press one button and it will only dispense you 16 ender pearls, and it will do that very quickly. And it will stop after 16. And it does that naturally without doing any kind of weird drop or counter stuff. So what I'm wondering is how exactly to build that kind of contraption. So I figured that the answer would be something related to torch burnout, because check this out. So this torch is flashing on and off, but eventually it'll burn out. So if you can turn it on at any point, like make it possible for the torch to actually basically keep dispensing until the torch burns out, then maybe that could be the trick. So that's weird. It's actually not doing anything. Maybe if I use an observer.
Yeah, I haven't actually, oddly enough, I haven't actually used any observers in this build so far. Now let's take an observer and do that. Okay, let's see if this works. That is peculiar. The torch is actually flashing, right? That is strange. Why is it not doing anything? And it's flashing on and off. That observer should be rapid firing like crazy.
I think I figured out why. It's because I had the button on this wall right here, so it was powering this dispenser, and therefore it couldn't receive any more signals to power. Yeah, that wasn't smart. Okay, let's try this again. This time, maybe with less failing. Okay, that also needs to be something that doesn't actually power the dispenser. Okay, this system I think I'm done with, because the whole torch burning out just doesn't work all that great. So I put in a comparator pulse extender over here, and then this piston up here to push an observer into another observer. And this system here will dispense fireworks, which I'm currently replacing with dispensers. So this will dispense about 24 dispensers, I think. Whatever I put in there. There we go. 22. So 22 fireworks is pretty much enough to get just about anywhere you really want to go. And this is really where this dispenser over here would come in, because if you really needed to go somewhere very, very far, like in the end, then this extra fireworks dispenser here would be the one for you. This would actually dispense shulker boxes of fireworks. So in this case, this should probably be a dropper and not a dispenser. Let me just replace that. Because a dispenser would place the shulker box, a dropper would actually give it to you. Okay, so now we have the system to dish out some fireworks, enough to pretty much get anywhere that you really need to go. Now this here is going to be the elytra station, and this part here will have a chest plate. There we go. Still need this torch there. Okay. I'm thinking we also need some other dispensers, like fishing rod, and maybe a crafting table, and an ender chest, as well as whatever specialty tools are needed. So let's see. Oh, I can actually have these dispensers sticking out of the floor, just as long as the buttons don't intermingle with any other redstone. So if I place a dispenser upwards here, and put the button there, so let me just get a button. There we go. And that won't mess with this thing here. So let's see. This here can be the fishing rod, if I absolutely need one. This is mainly to... See, the reason why I even have that as a dispensable item is because if you have a situation where you have items clumped together like this, you can actually get a fishing rod and hook the items over to you. This is really best used in situations where maybe it's on ice. That's the easiest place to actually hook items. So I can get a fishing rod here. I'm thinking over here I can get a... Let's see. Here I can put a... maybe a crafting table. In case I need to craft up emergency supplies. These are all just emergency supplies for in case I die, then I will get this... I'll get these resources pretty much delivered right to my doorstep. Or just enable ability. It basically gives me the ability to instantly get these materials that would normally take a trip to the bulk storage room. So let's see, a crafting table, and definitely need an ender chest. There we go. I wish I had this system during the absolute catastrophe of a live stream that was several months ago, actually. It's my third live stream, and it was just chaos, absolute mayhem, and I wish I had this system. Okay, a little while later, we now have the underwater dispensers here with different labels, plus the mining dispensers. So if I die underground, I need materials for being underground. And being underwater, I don't exactly need a bow, but I do need water breathing and weapon tridents. This is the place where I can also get Frostwalker boots, in case I need them. Plus magma blocks and soul sand in case I need to emergency make some bubble columns. Now over here is the exit. And this is where I brought up my fortune pickaxe, because I laid out some soul sand on top of here, and this actually goes up to the top of a lake. So now, this is a pretty familiar process, where I basically... What's happening here is I'm inside this upwards bubble column, and I'm ramming my head against this ice here, so that I can break it, which turns into a water source, and create some more bubble columns. So, all I gotta do is just continuously hold left click, keep breaking this ice, and eventually I'll reach the top, at which point the bubble column will reach there, and the coolest part is I can then use this lake as a jump point, as a takeoff point. Like, say I need to take off from here, and maybe I died underground, so I got a Riptide Trident. I can use it to launch myself into the sky. If I need to fly around to get to where my items are, I can use this to launch off with the fireworks. So there we go. I'm just gonna get some more ice and put some more into this bubble column. Okay, the last piece of ice, and then this whole thing will suddenly become a giant bubble column. Except for these blocks for some reason. Oh, there we go. So eventually those bubbles will start updating, I hope. And then we're going to have a 4-block bubble column that reaches all the way up to the surface. So, any minute now, these bubbles will start appearing. And there we go. Now it's like a sauna. Or some kind of hot tub. Okay, and there's a creeper on the mushroom. Better get him out of the way. Yeah, creepers have been kind of mayhem. They've been causing a lot of problems. So now we have a full put together system for in the rare case in which I die and I'm either able to get my items back, or I am not able to get my items back, but I need to be prepared for new situations. So here we go. I jump down this hole, get stopped and shoved over to the side. I then pick whether I want no thorns or thorns armor. No thorns if I'm catching something, thorns if I'm trying to fight some mobs. At which point, let's just light that up. At which point I then drops down into the control room, where I can then get fireworks. Oh, looks like I had some extra dispensers in here. There we go. So it dispenses a whole bunch of fireworks, or would be, or it actually gives me fireworks, because that's a dropper. It also gives me an elytra, or chest plate, depending on what I choose. Plus, I have different options, like, say I'm preparing for the nether, I can just run down here, collect all the items, and run into the portal. If I need stuff for the end, I press this button, collect all the items I need, and run into the portal. If I died underwater, I can grab a bunch of items here, and then turn around, run back, and run to the exit as fast as I possibly can. In fact, I think I'm going to swap all this out with blue ice to make the process of running even faster. And also, if I died while underground, I can just press a button over here, which I haven't yet put in. Hold on. Okay, there we go. We now have a system to dispense any items I need when underground. Things like axes, shovels, bows, and arrows. And this is also the general items that are non-specialized. So now, and also over here I can dispense things like an ender chest, fishing rod, crafting table, and a shield. I just realized I forgot something. I need a way to dispense food. Food's like the most important thing to actually dispense, and it's something that I often have difficulty with when I die. I want to quickly get food, and I have difficulty doing that, because searching through shulker boxes is not exactly a fast way to get food. So let me actually, let's see. Suppose I could just have a dropper here, and since I eat golden carrots all the time, I think I'm just going to get one of these, and I can actually set up one of these systems right here, and just press a button to get food. So let me just do that, and get a sign. This will be food. So the food that's dispensed are golden carrots, and this is about the most permanent food source ever, because seriously, golden carrots last forever. That's why I love these. That's why I love it. Okay, I'm going to build a system to dispense food. The system for dispensing food is now in place. So I put a stack of golden carrots in here just to see how much it would spit out. So hopefully it's enough food. So let's just see how much is spit out. I have the system run for quite a while. So if I do actually die, I could just run over, press that button, and then set up with all my with anything else I could need while this thing spits out its items. Oh, gives me exactly a stack. That is actually pretty cool. Okay, so at this point, now all we need to do is just fill in all these dispensers with items, with the items that were labeled here. And this way, I can actually be prepared for if I die, I can just jump down here and get set up and ready to go back into action within about maybe 30 seconds. I'm actually going to time and see how long it would take to prepare myself with this kind of setup. Okay, here's the thing. I actually currently have no way to just kill myself nice and safely. So what I'm going to do is use a command. /kill. Here we go. /kill at P. Dead. All of my items scattered all over the ground. Oh no. I need to resuit quickly, and let's pretend that all these items aren't just laying around here, so I'm just going to go around. And I should definitely put a better entrance to the system, the hole to drop down in order to resuit. But the point is, I am dead, and so I should have a nice quick exit or entrance to that hole with a resuiting station. So let's see if we can do this and see just how quickly I can resuit after I died. So let's see. This is the hole. Yep, right here. Okay, I'm gonna put up a timer. And 3, 2, 1, go. Let's just go down the hole and survive the fall. Get shoved over to here. I'm gonna push no thorns. I'm now equipped. And now let's go. I'm gonna drop down here, run over here, and get all the items I need. And then let's see, I need a sword. And I also want to looks like I don't have that. I'm going to press the food button, and then I'm going to get whatever other resources I need. I'm just going to leave it there. I should probably have a lever here, actually. Yeah, I should definitely replace that button with a lever. Okay, and now all I gotta do is wait. So far we're at 45 seconds, which is actually really, really good. And assuming once I replace this with the lever, then that should be no problem. Then run over to this bubble column, get shot right up to the sky, and now ready to go, ready to get back into action, and at least to get the items back. So that was 1 minute. 1 minute out of 5 that it takes for items to despawn, assuming the chunks are loaded. So some things that could definitely be improved is put in a lever for the food, so that I'm not guaranteed to be dispensed a stack. But if I absolutely need a stack, I can just let that lever sit there. Also, I need to bring in a bunch of other items to actually make it worthwhile. But here we are. That was a successful run. And that concludes this episode. So this is what we constructed. It's all underground here. So we have a big tube that goes from the surface all the way down to over here, the slime block pad, which stops the player from bouncing, and then does the kind of a Batman push, like some sort of Batcave entrance, goes shoved over to here, at which point I'll have 2 options, one for no thorns and one for thorns, at which point I then press a button, and that drops me down to here, and then I have different rooms where I can access fireworks. I can get an elytra or a chestplate, depending on what I want. I can push buttons for big things like the nether, where all it gives is fire resist potions for now, as well as shields, crafting tables, fishing rods, ender chests, and swords, plus shulker boxes for things like extra fireworks, damage fireworks, and extra ender pearls. Plus for underwater, I have underwater breathing potions, weapon trident, frostwalker boots, riptide trident, boats, magma blocks, and soul sand. And for general things, I have pickaxes, axes, shovels, bows, and an arrow. Plus, I have this food dispenser here, and also this exit to leave the place and get back into action to either get all my items back, or if I died in lava, then at least I'll be able to survive until I can get something better. So there we go. That is the respawning system. Let's get out of the camera account and get back into this room here. Oh, and I also need to refill with fire resistance potions because it looks like I'm out of fire resist. And there we go. So now we can fill up this shulker box full of fire resistance potions after giving it all to the item revival system. So that concludes this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know. I will see you next video. Next video we'll do a slightly larger project than the last couple, and I think you'll enjoy this next episode. See you later.